I don't know how or how you do it. You blow my mind without a word. Ooh, stuck upside down. I might be dreaming. There's no way back now. Take every inch of my body. Wanna dance with you all night long. Dive in, babe, you know we can't stop this. Come on and show me what you got. 'Cause I don't care if they think we're mad to be falling in love with.
Hi everyone. So sorry, I don't know what happened there, but things cut. So hopefully you can actually hear me better now. Really don't know what happened there. But we are back. Hopefully a little bit more stable. I think it's because of where I'm sitting. Anyway, there isn't really a whole lot to say today. So I'm not going to keep you for too long. Um, and let's just get to it. The real news and the real fun, of course, starts tomorrow. Harry and Meghan will be in Colombia tomorrow. They're probably on their way now. And I just want to share with you, let's actually start with the positive stuff and the good stuff. The internet doesn't want us to be great. The Rangers are sending their negative energy. So let's start with the positive stuff. Okay, so we do have a few details. So so far we have, because I believe they're going to be there until the 19th, because I think this is a 4-day trip. So on the 15th, tomorrow, press conference that will be broadcast on the vice president's social networks hosted by the vice president. Amazing. So we will actually get to see that. If you want on the hour updates, I would just say follow me on Twitter, on the Duchess Zone on Twitter, and also Duchess of Success Official on Instagram, so that you can get updates throughout the day. And then, of course, I will be giving you all the deets in the evening, or pretty much as soon as I get all the news. Okay, so and then there will be a forum with the Vice President, Archwell Foundation, and Numinite to address one of the central topics of the visits: developing strategies to generate safer digital environments and contribute to eliminate hate and cyberbullying on social networks. And of course, this is work that Harry and Meghan, they're not just like sitting down and going, we're going to show up and smile and wave somewhere and everybody's going to stop being horrible on social media. They are working with people at top universities. They are working with organizations and professionals in this field that are tackling this. So they're not, going there and bringing whatever woo woo is in their heads. They're bringing the expertise and putting the expertise of people who are professionals in this field front and center in their work. And this is all the work that they've been doing, within the Archwell Foundation. So number 3, visit to school in Bogota, where they will participate in the perspective session. During this, they will interact directly with students who are exploring the digital landscape. Amazing. And it's also, I think, going to be very interesting to see all of this from a different country, from a country in South America. I think often when we talk about the digital space, leaders in the digital space, strategies for the digital space, it's always usually from like an American or a European perspective. But of course, this is an issue that affects all people all around the world, and especially somewhere like Colombia, where it's still very much I'm sure there's parts of Colombia that are very developed, but they are perhaps still in a place where they can, I think, put strategies in place to protect people, perhaps before it gets to the point of how bad it's gotten in other countries and other places. So I think that's where they're at an advantage, and I think it's a very, very smart move of this government to bring Harry and Meghan and the experts that I've been working on this in. Now, on Friday, we have a visit to an educational institution in Bogota focused on the importance of integrating social, emotional well-being and education. This meeting will reinforce the commitment to the cause for the mental health and emotional development of the younger generations. Amazing. And then we will have a private lunch hosted by Vice President Francia Marquez, where they will be provided with a detailed briefing on the upcoming global menstrual conference on the elimination of violence against children, which will take place in Colombia this year. Meeting with the Colombian Invictus Games team, an initiative of Prince Harry and the Invictus Foundation that highlights the resilience and strength of military veterans, aligning with their ongoing commitment to the well-being of veterans and families. In conclusion, we are there to work. We're not there to smile and wave and look pretty. We're there to work. We're not there for rolling out the red carpet, although I am sure Colombia will do that to make Harry and Meghan feel welcome. But that's not why Harry and Meghan are there. They're there to work. And the British tabloids keep calling this a quasi royal tour. This is Harry and Meghan doing their independent work. As many other Harry and Meghan are no different from any other humanitarians who collaborate with organizations, with governments, with charities to do good work. It just so happens that they're incredibly famous, and one was a member of the royal family and the other married into the royal family. But really and truly, they're no different from any other humanitarians who have money and a certain level of influence just doing good work. So all of this nonsense about it's a quasi-royal tour. Harry and Meghan were invited. They didn't invite themselves because people can see the work that they're doing. Lottie, you said, I wonder if anyone from the UK will be there. I mean, I'm sure you will have some rat journalist who will attempt to go, but I don't believe any journalists. Well, I could be wrong. Maybe one's approved by Harry and Meghan's team, but I think what I meant to say was I don't think any of the tabloid journalists definitely not invited. Although we have seen in the past, who was it? Was it Matthew Wilkinson, whatever his name is, from the Sun newspaper, that literally somehow found out that Harry and Meghan were going to one of the was probably just lingering around, knowing that the American team were playing that day and that maybe Harry and Meghan might be there, and he happened to get actually very, very close, inside the arena, right next to Harry and Meghan's seats. So they can most definitely invite themselves, even if they're not invited, and they probably will try. But they're definitely not. I doubt anyone from the tabloid press has been invited by Harry and Meghan's team because what are they going to report on? They're just going to twist everything in a negative way. But I am so excited for this. We've got a jam-packed, absolutely jam-packed schedule. I think I had this here, some screenshots of, I guess, a visual representation of what they're going to be doing. And also, okay, so we've got on Saturday, they'll be going to Cartagena and on Cali on the 18th, where they are expected to join the Petronio Alvarez Festival. So all sounds very exciting, and but of course, the haters have to rain on the parade, and I'm sure we're gonna see all of the beautiful things that Colombia as a country has to offer. Country with a rich history, rich culture, and the only two things that the British tabloid press and William's friends can focus on is how uh, um, certain risks or dangers in the country, and according to William's friends, cocaine. The only two things that the British tabloid press have focused on is danger and cocaine. I mean, what does that tell you? William's friends apparently saying that Prince Harry should talk about cocaine in Colombia. Why? I mean, this is the mindset of these people. Such a colorful, interesting country, and the two biggest headlines so far: William's friend talking about Harry to talk about cocaine. I mean, wasn't for those of you in the UK, wasn't there just a huge like 35 million pound like they seized heroin or something? I mean, anyway, what can we say? Like this is exactly the type of thing that we would expect from these people. Um and apparently Harry should talk about this because of something that happened in Harry's youth. Please. Anyway, on the subject of Willy leaks, because it literally made news on, I mean, this was on Loose Women. They were discussing this on Loose Women. I just find it ridiculous. William apparently is growing a beard. I mean, it's not really much of a beard. He just looks like he hasn't, shaved for a few days. If the most exciting thing we have to talk about you is the fact that you may be growing a beard when you're the future king of England, there's something wrong. Some people, again, because we can't trust these people, were speculating, was this video AI? I don't think this video was AI. I do believe it was them, but I do believe they used a really bad Instagram filter, and that's why they look a bit weird. So this was actually taken from a video that William and Kate did, which was congratulating the Team GB athletes. Now, at the very beginning of this video, Snoop Dogg was featured, and this video was exclusively posted on the William and Kate's Twitter, and the tabloid press decided that this is what they were going to write. This is what the Daily Fail was going to write. How did Snoop Dogg become the face of the Olympics? Tom Leonard investigates how the foul-mouthed, misogynistic jailboard rapper bagged a front row seat in Paris, as well as the starring role in Kate and Williams' Team GB video. And this is why you don't get involved with anything royal related, because this is how you're going to be written about in the Daily Fail. So yes, as I Am Sage Squaddy said, I hope Snoop Dogg sees this and learns a lesson. I mean, they used Snoop Dogg for their video to get views for themselves. And then the Daily Fail then wrote that headline. I mean, not that there's anything in that headline that is quite frankly a lie, but this is why you don't allow yourself to be used to bolster the image of these two, because their hacks and the tabloids are going to write headlines like this. Indeed, the Olympics are over, and they will be going to LA in 2028. Very exciting. They will be going to California. During the handover ceremony, Snoop Dogg and Dre performed. Two men straight out of Compton. I'm proud of it because we don't have to be ashamed about where we came from. And who could forget that ridiculous straight out of Compton headline when they wanted to make it clear that they were going to make Meghan's life hell. So yes, we are straight out of Compton and we're going to LA for the 2028 Olympics. That's going to be a very interesting and good Olympics, I think. Right. Let's go to comments and then we will get to it. And yeah, I think it's just silly that we're having a whole conversation over a bid. I actually skipped doing a podcast. Yeah, I was going to do a podcast yesterday, but I was like, what am I going to talk about? I'm going to talk about William's bid. You know, William could never this. He could never. Apparently, ginger people have they've got they've got less hair follicles, but they're thicker, and it's one of the reasons why ginger people are less likely to go bald. That's why Harry's still got more hair than William. That and Diana reached down from heaven and snatched back her Spencer jeans. Yeah, Wendy, you can be doing anything to distract from Harry and Meghan's Colombia tour. And the only thing that they have is William apparently growing a beard. Yeah, the podcast did go down for a sec, but then I came back. We back. Don't worry. And wasn't there something in Spare about? Well, I think I actually have it. Do I have it on a? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. I thought I didn't have it, but I do. So Prince William told Prince Harry to shave his beard for wedding in a jealous feud. And that might sound like just an older brother being petty, and it is. But granted, these are two grown adult men. Why is it that William can dictate what Harry does with his own body and style? These are the type of behaviors that you literally see in cults, in abusive relationships. They're not um they don't often come across as overtly abusive, but it's a form of control. Getting someone to do something, even if it seems minor, to exert control over them. So according to Prince Harry's memoir Spare, his older brother Prince William was livid that he was able to keep his beard for his wedding day and even had permission from the late Queen. I mean, why does it matter whether a royal man has a beard or not? There's like all of these silly protocols. For what? Gosh. Not a life I would want to live. Gold gilded cage will always just lose the sparkle and become a cage. Um, Hi Andrea, I'm so glad that you got to catch a live. Wendy said, I heard that women are being attacked on the trains in the UK. Why isn't the press talking about that? They actually are talking about that. There's um a whole news campaign that was launched today. I saw it on both BBC and Sky News talking about violence against women. They had several women on the news talking about their experiences. One of them was actually someone who had an experience on the train, and I believe violence against women is now being treated as a national emergency. So I think we're going to see in the coming weeks and months to what extent the government actually goes to tackle this. But it's definitely, yes, more could be done. I'm not saying that they're doing everything right and they have all the answers, um, but there's at least a much louder conversation happening than I've ever seen it happening before. So I think there's a bit of a step in the next direction. It's quite interesting though. I remember some months ago, uh, Camilla, giving this whole speech talking about, "Oh, we need to tackle violence against women, blah 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 blah." But in light of what's happened the last few weeks, you had those knife attacks in Southport. Then you also had another knife attack actually in Leicester Square the other day. It was a young girl and her mum, two tourists, I believe, violently attacked by a man with a knife. And yeah, I don't hear anything from Camilla talking about violence against women now. Suddenly gone very silent. I don't even know because I don't really follow what the other royals are doing unless it, comes up on my feed or it becomes a huge conversation like someone growing a beard. I don't even know what they're doing most of the time. Like I haven't seen Camilla since she decided to be rude to Bridget Macron. I don't know what that lady's been doing. Biting people outside the palace, maybe. Um, okay. All right. I think that I will end things there. Didn't really have like a long podcast today. Just gearing us up for the Colombia tour, and now we have a little bit of a taste of what we are going to be seeing over the next few days. So excited. Oh, actually, one other thing before I wrap things up. Apparently, one of Harry and Meghan's staff departed. It was someone who he was there for about 3 months, and it was a mutual conversation, and he left. And all I see in this is that a man didn't pass his probation, and everybody's keeping it moving. I have no idea why this has become such a big story in the tabloid press. I guess they are just so desperate to talk about something. Man doesn't pass probation. Happens every day of the week in every company. So I don't know what they're making a big deal out of this for. I guess that they're trying to spin it into, oh, another failure, another, staff gone from Harry and Meghan's team. I mean, they're building a whole organization. You're gonna have staff turnover. You're gonna have people who maybe don't fit into the company culture, and they have to be very careful about who they hire. Nowhere near the turnover that you're getting from the other royals camp, particularly William and Kate. I mean, even Camilla and Charles do a much better job at keeping their staff intact. Seems to be absolute chaos in the house of the Welleses. I mean, you had a lady who was it she worked for before? Jamie Oliver? And she noped the F out of there real quick. She said, nope, nope, nope. And then you also have the hired someone again recently, a man who's known to be a very good spin doctor. Got Tesco's, which is a big chain in the UK, out of a lot of trouble. That's who they've hired. So not even hiring someone that has a reputation for being creative or innovative. No, you've hired someone who has a reputation for cleaning up messes. I believe that there is a lot going on behind the scenes, and I genuinely believe, if not before the end of the year, but somewhere at the beginning of next year, we will hear some kind of major announcement. I'm still betting on that. Where's our bingo card? What have we got here? Camilla attacked by the press. Yep. Piers Morgan found guilty. Maybe next year, the year after. Terribly received royal tour. I mean, I guess we had that one. Charles and Camilla going to Kenya. I mean, it's interesting that Harry and Meghan are being invited by other countries to go on tour, and the other royals seem to be scaling back from their international tours. Because regardless of what the tabloid press wants to say, nobody's reaching out to invite these people. They invite themselves. And they clearly don't like going on these tours. And when Harry and Meghan are going on these trips, they're actually bringing resources. They're doing work, not just going there to smile and wave. And I can't even imagine now if William and Kate go on a tour. I actually don't think that's going to happen ever again. I don't think we'll see William and Kate on a tour ever again. I think the last tour was probably the last. And the one that they were meant to go to Paris just before the so-called abdominal surgery never happened. I don't think they can stand each other for long enough to go and do a big overseas stretched out tour. Camilla clearly hates touring. Charles clearly gets tired. They're both elderly. Harry and Meghan have all the energy to do these types of tours now and actually do something impactful to the point where they're now getting invited. We are basically gonna have a global Sussex tour. They've seen, what Harry and Meghan brought to Nigeria. They're gonna see what Harry and Meghan bring to Colombia. So the question now is literally just gonna be, who's next? Who's next to invite our faves? That's gonna be the question now. Any guesses in the comment section? Where do you think Harry and Meghan are going next? I think there will definitely be a trip to India. Meghan has charitable ties there. Trying to think of where else Meghan has maybe done work. Meghan did some work in Ireland. And Harry and Meghan were actually, despite being British royals, very well received when they went to Ireland. Very well received. Both by the people there and the the dignitaries and officials. Maybe also Rwanda because Meghan did some work there. Um, Maybe some of the other countries where they went on tour when there were still royals. Possibilities are endless. Let's, um, but Tomato, you said, I think they are still seething about Sussex's happy life and free life. That's why the Kensington Palace keeps hiring crisis management people to help them out. What? What, to add to the misery of the Sussexes? And I mean, listen, if you can't fix what's in your own house, there's I don't think there's anyone that can really help the royals fix themselves because the problem is in internal. The problem is inside of themselves. The loathing that they have for others, but first and foremost themselves, because I think they suffer and they should from a hell of a lot of imposter syndrome. Roseanne, you said, I'm looking forward to Princess Meghan knock out the world with her great Spanish skills and handsome Harry too. Yes, Meghan can indeed speak some Spanish. Andrea, you said exactly, and who next? Love it for them. Yeah, who next? I would love for Meghan to give a whole speech in Spanish. Oh my gosh. And you know, our girl um passed with flying A's at the top institution, university institution. You know that she is the type to write the most perfect speech, recite it over and over again, and give it perfectly. I think that she will give a speech. And I hope that she says it in Spanish. Um, South Korea. There's a lot of issues in South Korea actually at the moment with gender equity and the attitudes between men and women becoming so much more polarized. Yeah, you should look into that. There's this whole thing about like 4B movement and women choosing not to get married and yeah, not to have children. So definitely, I think that programs like I know that one of the programs that Harry and Meghan are doing is um, encouraging men to be more engaged in like home life and with kids. So that's probably the type of thing that um, would be good. I mean, you need that everywhere, but for some of the things that I've read coming out of South Korea are quite scary. Um, the Philippines, an island. Oh yeah, Malta. Megan visited Malta. Apparently, she has some Malta ancestry. Yeah, I think there's probably a few places in Africa as well. All right, I'm gonna leave it there. I'm absolutely exhausted, as you can probably hear from my voice. It's been a very long day, but I wasn't gonna miss another day doing a podcast. I miss you folks whenever I don't do a podcast because I've been doing this for like 3 years now. Like like uh it's such a huge part of my day. Yes, that's it. 4B movement. No dating, no no marriage, no birth and children. Yes. That thing. All right, folks. I'm gonna leave it there. Have a fabulous day. I'm not gonna play an outro, but do have a fabulous day, and I will see you tomorrow for news and a wrap up about the tour. But do follow on the socials if you want on the hour, by the hour, and all of the pictures and everything. All right. See you tomorrow. Colombia, here we come. Ciao.